Hello, in this video I am going to walk you through the process of setting up Visual Studio Code on your Windows machine so you can program in the C programming language. Okay, so first of all you need to download Visual Studio Code. So if I go to Google Visual Studio Code, I'll provide a link to everything that you will need, and here we go. And let's go download for Windows, latest stable build. I'll provide, you start downloading right there. I'll provide separate videos on how to set this up on Mac and Linux, so feel free to check those videos out. Okay, so just gotta wait for this to download. Then we'll open it and install it. Click that. It's just gonna launch up. Click I accept. Next. I don't want it installed there. If you don't mind for it to be installed in the default directory, click next. If not, click browse and select where you want it. And for me, I'm going to put local disk D, software, okay, next, and next. And in terms of these, create a desktop icon, totally optional. You can add these other contextual options like add open with code meaning Visual Studio Code, action to Windows Explorer file context menu. So that's like, when you right click, for example, you would have the options there. You'll have add open with code action in Windows Explorer directory context menu. So something like there. Register code as an editor for supported file types. So if this is going to be your main editor, then you can select this, and whenever you have a piece of code, let's say PHP, C, C++, double click it, you'll open it with Visual Studio Code. I don't want that. Add to path, I recommend you do that. Click next, click install. Shouldn't take long at all to install it. It's pretty lightweight, to be fair. Now you can just launch it through here or just launch it through there. So just click finish. And I'm going to get rid of that because that's actually what we're going to be creating. So now, once this has launched up, it might look slightly different if this is the first time you are launching it, because I had already previously launched it. Might allow you to choose the theme. You can always change then the settings after. But couple of things we want to do. First of all, go to this button here, which is extensions. You can also access it via right there. So view extensions, which I'm already on, and just type in C, and that's the one we want from Microsoft. And so this provides some IntelliSense debugging and code browsing. So click install. It's very small. Next, you want to search for Code Runner by Jun Han and click install. This will allow us to actually run the code itself. Again, very small. Next, go to File, Preferences, Settings, and go to Extensions. Scroll down to Run Code Configuration, and scroll down to where it says, let me go down, where is it? Yeah, there we go. Whether to run code in integrated terminal, running terminal. We want to select that. If you don't, it runs in the output section. And the problem with that is that's read-only. So if you have any sort of interaction with the terminal with the application using a command line environment, such as the scanf function, which I'll cover in a separate video, don't worry, you won't be able to use it. So you want to select this. This is very crucial. And that's it. So you just want to press Ctrl S to save this, and click X, and click X on here. We can click go to Explorer, go to Open Folder, and on the desktop I'm going to create our application folder. and I'm going to call this test application, select folder, and now inside here is going to be where all our application code is going to be. Go to new file, and this is pretty cool. You can select a language, so C for us, and if we just press Control S and we want it in the test application, you can name it whatever you want, but I'm going to name it main.c. It has to have the .c extension. Click save, and now we're ready to actually put some code in there. I'm just going to copy and paste this piece of code I got from the Programmers website. It's just a basic application, so I'm going to paste that here, press Control S, and I'm not going to cover what each individual line does, white spaces, comments, that sort of stuff. I'm going to have separate videos covering all of that and all the different features and functionality that the C programming language offers. So to run it, you can either click the Run button here, press Control Alt N, or right click, your application, for example, and run code. So if I just go to run code, probably take like 2 seconds, and there we go. It says hello world. So do you remember when I was saying about the output tab? If you didn't change that little option in preferences and settings, it would have ran it in here. It would have looked slightly different in there. It would have given you how long it took in terms of seconds to compile and build and run. But with this, you actually can put some input. So that's great if you are having and creating an application that, let's say, asks the user for a number, and then he asks for an operation like plus, then asks for another number, and it produces the result of that calculation. So that's just a little example, but this is it. This is how you set up C in Visual Studio Code. This, effectively, you could do this as C++ as well. If you rename .c to .cpp and put C++ code here, that will be equally valid. And that's it. So just make sure you open up this test application folder every single time you want to work with this application, code in here, click run, and that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to pop me a message, and as usual, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.